Why, fuck up? Why? Why am I looking at this again?
It's time for you to take your medicine, Akbar.
Fine. Roll this mumbly bastard.
That has nothing to do with my prophet. Please just stop it. It doesn't make any sense. That's not the message he sent. That's not what he meant. That's not why he came. So you can claim as much as you want to, but I assure you the man I follow was not the same.
For this little venture, you're hardly going to get to speak. Instead, we'll spend our time refuting your verses and hadiths. I'm getting right sick of hearing the sound of your voice, so I'm going to skip through most of it because this is my channel, and I have that choice.
See, I know a man who forbade the cutting down of a plant, who even spoke against those who had burnt an ant.
The quote you start off with is from the book of Jihad. You had to sample from within the verse to avoid the violence, you fucking cad. Fuck you. I'm done with this format. I've done it 3 times. This is the last second we do this your way. Now it's time we do it mine. This little cut you took is about not destroying the loot you could have otherwise collected in battle. And the bit you cut off at the end explicitly states that. You are a lying scoundrel, spreading deceitful bullshit. 3 verses before this one is this one. Why don't you want the people to get a hold of your book, eh? Full of terrible shit, and you're afraid you won't be standing there to try and explain it away, eh? And stop. Deceitful again. That word is a person granted protection by the Muslims, not innocent person. This is the code of law adopted by gangsters and racketeers. Shall we see the next one? Yep. And stop. You're misquoting this one too, and it's from an old fatwa at that. It's funny you have to jump around so much in a vain attempt to prove your point. This is the basis for halal slaughter and, well, animal sacrifice in Islam. Next. And the next one's right there. Again, I'm leaving another link in the description, but curse understood correctly in this instance is the withdrawal or withholding of God's love and etc., etc. So if you want converts, do you curse anyone under this understanding? And what of this mercy? Judges grant mercy. Soldiers in battle grant mercy. People with direct power over you grant mercy. No thanks. And next. While this citation style is quite odd, I did manage to find this, eventually, which seemed to back him, but when I type in the verse chapter in the Quran where it's cited, we get a much more honest and lively translation. Mostly it appears to be copy and paste stuff from Jesus of Nazareth and some great bounty reward talk for the Muslims. Just a short hop to the next. Oh man, you know you fucked up linking to the Quran, right? This is just Muhammad praising himself and consolidating his power with himself as spokesman for God. I invite anyone to read it differently, starting several verses back. By the way, the inspiration for martyrdom and suicide bombing is just before this as well. Next. Sure, I'll grant you that's a fine story, but again, I defy you to read the chapter provided in the link, Book 42, Book of the Distribution of Water, and see it as anything besides a persnickety set of rules for governing desert people. You've truly snapped. Oh, and potheads, look at Hadith 2. He invented the pass to the right thing. Next. That's right, folks. He actually openly reveals the fact that the Quran repeats itself ad fucking nauseum, and now we get to read how heinous it is. Here. 2198. Indeed, you disbelievers, and what you worship other than Allah are the firewood of hell. You will be coming to enter it. Lovely, merciful, and kind. That's right, folks. He actually openly reveals the fact that the Quran repeats itself ad fucking nauseum, and now we get to read how heinous it is. Next. Here we have another outright lie by mistranslation. He was denouncing hair splitters, quibblers, essentially disagreeers. Not to mention, it is in no way the point of the book, in which is an endless chain of custody for the end time story, so far as I can tell. Next. This is the line of a con man. His followers were mad about the distribution of goods after a battle, and he said, "Don't worry, I could never lie to you. It's impossible because I am a Muslim." See? Next. Sure, I can't refute that. I mean, what quality of Buddha is the best? What quality of Christianity is the best? What quality of Satanism is the best? Now, as though this were a job interview, now what's your worst feature? I've linked all this. I advise you check it all out. Lots of crazy here. Just check chapter 2 in this one. Hates for the sake of Allah. I mean, how could that go wrong? Next. Yes, but what does transgression mean exactly? This is the book in which the lovely fighting has been enjoined upon you while it is hateful to you, but perhaps you hate that which is good for you. This is the same information, sir. It's also the same chapter with some really lovely stuff about women in the tail end. You know, sowing seeds, winning how you please, menstruation, demarcations. You know, check it out. It's pretty fun. Next. You are using a quote about witnessing for Allah as some kind of justice. It's frankly laughable. This is the last time I bother with you, Songboy. You're nothing but a liar, quote mining your own books, desperately trying to make Islam look like anything but a book of conquest, violence, and rule by theocratic force. No, thank you. We're going to put you in the same place we put Christianity. You're going to become a charity if you enter the West. Nothing more. Get used to it.